Cool. So the recording has started. So I am your Ambassador Diamond Upline, Amanda McGee, and we asked you guys earlier basically what would you like to see more of out of the group, and how can we better serve you as leaders? So everyone who's going to be talking tonight is a diamond, double diamond or above. So we have double diamond all the way up to presidential. So this is going to be really good. If you have a notebook, please take notes. You can also put them in your phone, whatever you want to do. So a lot of this I feel like is newbies, so I'm really excited. Okay, so how it's going to work for any of you doubles who have not been on the other ones is I'm going to ask a question, and if you feel led to answer, then what you're going to do is you're going to unmute yourself. This is double diamond or above, so don't unmute yourself if you're not double diamond or above. Put your question or comment in the chat. I'm going to unmute you, or you're going to unmute yourself, I'm sorry, and then you're going to answer the question. So don't be afraid if you are hopping on simultaneously. You can just be like, okay, whatever, and somebody will go first. So if you feel really led to answer, just pipe in and don't be afraid to go first. And ignore this board in the background. It's kind of ghetto. We don't know what to do about a door right there. Okay, so let's see. A lot of this is geared towards gaining loyal customers. All right, so the first question is going to be, let me kind of start from the beginning. Okay. What is the biggest obstacle you have faced so far, and how did you overcome it? What is something unique that you do for your loyal customers and distributors so they don't feel like a number on your page? How important is it to have a strong network of people around you that believe in you, and what do you do until you find that right circle? So you're going to need to unmute and talk. Don't be afraid to interrupt each other.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So something that I do for my loyal customers, which is the second question that you had asked, when they sign up, I get a thank you card, and I write a little message in the thank you card. I thank them for their support, for their business. I say, if they ordered wraps, you're going to love your wraps. Let me know when you get them in, so I can further help you. And I also send a WOW sample, the Wipeout Wrinkle Cream, my Blitz card, because that way they could hand it off to a friend and be like, hey, this is the person that I ordered from. Here's their information. Basically just thanking them. It's really personal sending that card in the mail and not just a text message.
Love that. Does anyone want to address any other part of that question? It's kind of several parts.
I personally send thank you notes also, and I also save their name and their loyal customer number in my phone. And that way, if we have a promo or something for, let's say we have a BOGO, I can type in the search LC, and it will pull up every single loyal customer that I have, and I can just text them all the same thing. Hey, just want to let you know that we have, a special on the cleanse right now. You can get buy one, get one free, or whatever it may be. BOGO wraps or whatever. But also I do send the thank you notes as well, and I send samples of greens and WOW with instructions and kind of a thank you for their support like Jill does. And then I can't remember can you repeat the rest of the question?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so the rest of it was, let's see. So it was, what is something unique that you do for loyal customers, which you and Jill both addressed, and I love, and distributors, so that they don't feel like a number on your page. And then the second part was, how important is it to have a strong network of people around you that believe in you, and what do you do until you find that right circle?
I personally did not have a lot of support from my family, but I added a lot of people that became my friends through social media. So treating people, being real and treating people like you know them, you've known them forever. When you're talking to somebody about their picture, or someone posted a picture and I knew that she was, where she was from, and I was just, talking to her like a real person, like a friend. So being friends with people that you meet on social media is huge, because it goes a long way. A small comment can go miles with people. a compliment is huge. So adding to your network every single day, and then being yourself, not trying to be salesy. You don't have to, the sale comes when they trust you. So develop that friendship and that relationship first, and then the sale will come later. But definitely adding to your network every single day on Facebook and Instagram. And I did that for consistently. I still do it consistently every single day. Add people to Facebook and Instagram, and I build relationships. I compliment people. I talk to them on a personal level because I feel like they trusted me enough to follow me. They liked a photo, so I should reciprocate and like their photos too. So it's just about being a real person and, just showing love. But that's basically what I do to grow relationships. And then with distributors, I mean, we talk daily, so they need to know that they're loved as well. So
Love it. Okay, Sheena, you had something to input. You want to unmute and hop in?
Yeah, well, you see, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Can you repeat the whole question? Because I feel like there was something that popped out. I'm not going to go over the loyal customer or distributor part, but
Okay.
there was like more parts to the question. Can you repeat it?
Yep. So so the first question was, what is the biggest obstacle you have faced so far and how did you overcome it?
Yeah.
Loyal customer distributor. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So I feel like in this business, it's something that you need to be filling your cup every single day, and you always need to stay connected. So staying connected to your team when you do have downline, when you do have people underneath you, just having those relationships, stay plugged into your business. I feel like I went to church one time and they gave this analogy of basically it was like a fire, and when the ashes are all spread out, the fire goes out, and when you're all together, that's when your fire is lit. And so staying plugged in, you're going to always have your fire be burning. And so that's really going to help you in your business. You're going to face struggles. It's unfortunate, but that's just life. This business is outside of most people's comfort zone, and that's okay. But the point of just staying plugged in and being around like-minded people is what's going to keep you motivated, keep you going in your business, and know that you're in the right business and doing the right thing. So staying plugged in is hands down one of the best things you can do for your business.
I definitely agree with that 100%. Okay. So I think that pretty much covered it. Okay. Now let's see. I think this would be, okay, this would be good. By the way, there's 62 questions, you guys. We're not going to get through all of them, but I'm picking the things that are going to be the most beneficial for you to learn and grow from. So this is going to be good. So I'm in a funk. How do you get out of those moods that last for weeks, it feels like, where you don't feel motivated to do anything? You can unmute.
Okay, so I personally have been in a couple of those funks. And when I get in those funks, I surround myself by positive people. So like my friends are all over the US now, so you can't always be with them, but I stay more plugged into their posts and I read positive things instead of focusing on all those depressing news articles that pop up on Facebook. I read my motivational book, or I look up a motivational YouTube video. I just watch what I'm feeding into myself, and then I start to feel better on the outside, and I start performing better. So.
Love it. Does anyone else want to touch on that?
Something for me would be kind of remembering my why I started. I have my dream board on my wall, staring at me in the face every day, reminding me what it is that I want from this business, what my goals are. Because, if you're in a funk and you kind of remember, oh yeah, I wanted to pay off all my debt, so I need to get to it. Remembering your why, looking at your kids, looking at your spouse, looking at, your debt, the dream house that you want. These things are going to refuel your fire.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so anything else before I move on? Okay, I feel like that was good. Okay.
I wanted to, hey.
Okay, yep.
Hey, I want to add just a little bit. The funk thing is, I think the main thing is, there's an ad in here, sorry. The main thing is to realize that that funk that you're in is a mental, it's a mental thing. It is completely mental. It's not a real like funk that you have like stepped inside a box labeled funk that, like loyal customers and distributors or whatever the reason that you're feeling that way. It's usually because you're probably not enrolling or there's just, negative things happening. It's because you're choosing to pay attention to those things. It's not because, this business it works just all of a sudden stopped working. It's because you're paying attention to the wrong things or giving life to the wrong things. So I think personal development, reading a book on leadership or just positive thinking, ways to improve your mindset, period, will help you stay out of the funk. And also, when you, like Jill said, when you remember why you started, you should have it written on something and taped in front of your desk, on your bathroom mirror, on your dresser, wherever, in your bedroom, somewhere that you're going to see it, on your refrigerator, wherever that you're going to see it the most, and put it up there to remind you why. Because the longer that you stay in this funk, the less that you're progressing towards achieving that why and those goals that you should have written down from the day that you start. And that's about it.
I love that. I have to agree. I sincerely think that what you are paying attention to is what you breathe life to. So if you're paying attention to my business is going downhill or I'm in a funk or I can't get anyone to sign, then that's 100% what's going to happen. So you have to surround yourself with people who are saying you can do it. I just signed up 10 customers. Here's the post I used. You have to reach out. Nobody is in this alone. You have your own business, but you're not doing it alone. You have an army to support you, and that's why we do things like this. So just reach out. There's no question too stupid. Okay, so let's see. That was really good. Okay. How do you manage your follow-ups? How often do you message after they ignore? Example, every Friday for weeks, then every other week, then every month. If the same people who are ignoring your follow-ups continue to like your posts, do you message them with wax post? I don't know if that was, or just stick to regular follow-ups? How do you keep track of your follow-ups? Binder, calendar, phone. So another question was, how do you keep track of everything and keep it organized? So basically this question is, how do you stay organized and follow up?
I can talk about this a little bit because I love organization. So I'm a notebook person, so I like writing. I think the biggest and most important thing that you need to realize is how you stay organized. So what works for me may not work for you. So I know there's people that use their phone. They'll use, if you have an iPhone, they'll use the reminders. You can use your notes, your calendar, whatever works best. If you're more with technology, I think there's apps that you can download. I don't use those. I use paper. So if you like paper, then listen to what I have to say. So basically, I have one of those like 5-star notebooks that has like different tabs inside of it. And so I actually have a tab for each, like each thing. That's how weirdly organized I am. So I have a tab that's strictly for my loyal customers, my potentials. And so when I'm doing a follow-up, I go through what I have listed of people that I've talked to about being a loyal customer. And that's kind of how I remember, hey, I talked to this person, because let's be real, scrolling through all those messages that you send on Facebook or Instagram, I lose people all the time. So for me, I like seeing it in front of me. I can go start typing in their name, click on the message, pull it up. I love doing follow-up throughout the week. I don't stick to just a one-day kind of thing. If it's something where I'm not getting responses on, then I stick to like a Friday. I've also tried doing Sundays as a follow-up too, because most people are done with their weekend. They're, with family, they're chilled out, stuff like that. So it's really based on what's going to work for you. And you're going to find that through working your business, what works best for you. So play around with it and be open to finding your groove with being organized. So I have a tab for my potentials. loyal customers, distributors, I have a little tab that I keep track of my steps to success, because our steps to success is what functions your business. So I keep track of that every single month, and I have a goal for what I'm doing and what I'm basically doing, my goals in there. So I also have a back portion of that for my self-development, because I can never talk about self-development enough. And so if they say you're supposed to carry around a journal with you, so that's why I love that notebook, because I can literally have everything in one area. And so when I hear something or I think of something, I write it down in there. And then I also do have a planner as well. So if I have a for sure date from somebody, I will put it on that date in my calendar. So I actually do use two different systems of keeping track of things. So I hope that helps kind of, and then follow up. I went for that. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that was good. Can you do me a favor and read what's on that green paper behind you?
Mine?
Yeah.
I was about to ask the same thing.
It says, I believe in you. You are worth it. You are successful. You are an enrolling beast. You change lives. You are debt free.
I love that. I was about to ask.
Yeah, it's actually it's my dream board from last year. I just flipped it over and wrote that on there. So I have it still.
I love that. There is so much power in putting something like that where you can see it every day, because there's not a single person in this business who goes through, their life and their business. I've reached the top of the company. I still wake up some days and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I can't enroll people. It's a phase. So it's not only the people who are in the beginning. Everyone is going to go through this, and it's what your head speaking to you. So to have something like that right in front of your face is so powerful. So I love that. Okay, does anybody else want to touch on organization, follow-ups, anything like that before we continue?
I just want to say for people that stop replying back, I don't message. I just go to their page and show them a lot of love, and sometimes even turn on post notifications, because I am going to be in their face. So I'm not trying to be annoying, but I'm going to show them as much love as possible, because just because they did not reply to my message, the time is not right for them. I'm ready. I'm always ready for a new customer. I'm always ready for a new distributor, but the time isn't right for them. So I want them to know that I haven't forgotten about them, and I'm going to go to their page and show them a lot of love, because I just want them to know that I haven't forgotten. And my name is going to be in their notifications constantly, because especially with those people that you really think a lot about. And I know, Amanda, you have your diamond chart filled out with your potentials, and that's kind of it. I don't let people go. So, yeah, if they stop replying to me, I don't take it to heart. You can't. It just means that something's going on in their life. It doesn't mean that they don't want your product or the opportunity. It just means that something's going on in their life that's preventing them from jumping, and it doesn't affect you at all. It's them, it's not you. So just go to their page and show them love, and don't disappear from their notifications, because when you do, they're going to enroll with someone else.
I love that. Something I like to tell people is, if you don't ask, I will. So you have to be asking people. Somebody else jumped in. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. Someone else trying to speak? Going once, going twice?
I can hop in real quick and just kind of, I do the same thing. I have like a notebook, and I have my calendar. As soon as they give me a date, they go in the calendar. The notebook has product that they want, their name, their screen name. So I'm more of a paper person. I'm not really much of like a phone calendar person, but do what works best for you. And like Lynn was saying, I'll do the same thing. If they're reading my messages every Friday or every other Friday, I'm going to like their pictures. I'm going to have their post notifications on. I'm going to comment. I'm going to try to have a conversation with them. I'm going to add them on Facebook if they're only on Instagram, or add them on Instagram if they're only on Facebook. Because, like she said, you want to, you want them to see you, and for them to know that you haven't forgotten about them.
Love that. Okay. So a question we got in the chat, it kind of pertains to a lot of the questions we got in the survey, was, I've not been able to get a response on anything other than I know too many people that sell this, and I don't have time or money for it. How do we get past the lull? And there was that pertains to the question that I was literally about to ask was, what do you do when you're promoting the company and posting your products and results on all your social media with consistency and no one is liking your post or showing any type of interest in it? So I just want to touch on this really fast and then I'll open it up to everybody else. I come from a town of like 600 people. I graduated with 17 people. That was all I knew. I didn't have a huge network. And so that was the only people that I was talking to. And so I was shown a statistic very early on in my business that said the average person needs to see the same exact thing that relates to them an average of 18 times before they believe that they want it. So if you're posting, a certain type of before and after picture, and that's it, then that certain type is what you're going to attract. But you have to do it at least 18 times before you say no one is interested. So the mistake that a lot of new people make is they will post, once or twice and nobody likes it or comments and they're like, well, I'm done. But you have to understand that people are watching even though they're not liking it. And you're going to get somebody who says, I look exactly like that before that you just posted. And I want to look like the after. What do I need to do? What were they taking? How much is it going to cost? And so you have to be consistent, but you also have to a wide range, post every color, post every size, post everything. Because the more that you are in your little bubble of what is comfortable for you is what you're going to attract. And it's really shrinking your market. And so you have to be comfortable promoting everything. And you have to have it in your mind, okay, I posted this and say, it's maybe a fitness model. I posted this fitness model that used New You one time. Okay, you have 17 more times to go before the majority of people from that post are going to like and reach out to you and want to order from you. So keep that in your mind. That it's not going to happen overnight, obviously, but you have to 18 times of the same thing and be consistent with that. So consistency, people think that it's just posting random stuff all the time. It's not. Consistency is posting the same thing, the same exact thing. And it could be, a similar body type, but the same thing for at least 18 times. And anything below that, you can't make a judgment on it. It's you that has to do that. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add?
I definitely do, because not only are you only advertising that one thing at one time, but not every single person that's on your friends list is seeing it. So it's important for you to post multiple times because you're posting to different people at different times. So person A may see it at 8 o'clock in the morning, person B may see it at 5 o'clock in the evening. And you know what I'm saying? So your posting throughout the day is so critical because you're hitting so many different people at different times of the day. But also while you're thinking about, I posted this and nobody liked it, you have to realize every single post is a seed planted. So if you are planting a garden, and I've used this example multiple times for my team, that if you're planting a garden, you cannot plant it today, water it, and then walk out there in the morning and expect to see this massive garden of fruits and vegetables. And I tell them all the time, think of your potentials as asparagus. It takes 2 to 3 years to grow asparagus. And I know Liz is going to laugh because I've used this example before. It takes 2 to 3 years to grow asparagus. Do you think I'm going to plant asparagus today and then walk out tomorrow and go, where the hell is my asparagus? No, I've got to water it. I have to fertilize it, and I have to be patient. Because I know it, I planted it. I know that it's there. I put it out there, and I just have to wait because I know that it's going to sprout. Every single time you post, it's a seed planted. Every single post. I've been in the business for three years and 3 months, and I still have people that have watched me from the very start who still have not joined me, who still message me and say, I'm afraid I won't make money, or how do these products work, or I still want those hair, skin, and nails. I still have those people, but I continue to add to my network daily, and I continue to post every day. I don't get discouraged because I know I'm posting to the, I'm growing asparagus every single day, and I know I have to be patient because my garden is growing with every single post. So when you you have to know your expectations are probably super high, because you see people that are successful and you think it happened so fast. And for some of us it did, but you have got to know that it took time and work and effort, and that you have got to give this time. So I really hope that that helps.
Well, I'm singing hallelujah. I don't know about everyone else. That was great. Thank you. Chills. Weirdness. Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add to that? It's a tough act to follow. Okay. So the next thing is, what do you think is the most important for those of us just getting started? Every day I learn about new things that I should be doing, but it can be overwhelming having so much thrown at me right away. There was a couple other questions pertaining to that. So basically, I'm just going to invent my own question that summarizes all of these, is as a brand new person, I just started my business today. What are you going to tell me to do, or how are you going to lead me that's not going to overwhelm me?
I'll go ahead and chime in here. So when I first got started, I was a loyal customer beforehand. And so when I got started and I learned that I could sell wraps, I sold the wraps that I bought as a loyal customer before I even got my starter kit. So I know that's not all of your guys' situation, but I was so excited and so pumped up. I had no idea what I was talking about. People would ask me if it's permanent, and I'd be like, I think so, yeah, but I don't know, you should try it anyways. I was just so excited. So I think the best thing for you guys to know is that the more you try to teach yourself and fill your head with knowledge, yes, it's absolutely amazing to be knowledgeable, but at the same time, it can place you back when you're trying to go forward. So I say be ignorance on fire and just run for it. Talk to anybody and everybody. Be excited. Even if you don't know fully what you're talking about, be excited because they don't know. And if you run into a situation where you're really stuck, say, I don't know, let me ask that really quick for you. But in the meantime, here's blah, 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 blah. Just be excited. And the one thing that I always tell people is because I was working when I first started this. And so every time I would talk to somebody, I knew very little about certain products. And so I would hear them talk about something and I would relate it to a product right away. So if somebody was like, oh, I feel so tired, I'd be like, oh, I have greens. They help with energy. So I think when you have a bottom line, just a little bit of knowledge. And the only reason I knew that was because I ordered greens as a loyal customer. So what you're passionate about and what you talk about, that's what you're going to, sell or share the most. And your excitement is going to make people want to join you, make people want to buy from you because they're truly buying you versus the product or the business. So that's my best tip, is just to run for it and not try to learn everything at one time.
I love that. Anybody else?
Yeah, if piggybacking off of what Shayna just said, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Don't try to, read the whole everything before you get started. Just start talking to people. And if I had to give a few tips right out of the gate without overwhelming someone, I would say print off a Ruby chart, print off your steps to success, and just start talking to people. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This thing's weird. So something that you should definitely do when you first start is announce your business. Make a post on Instagram, Facebook, whether you're texting, calling friends and family, be excited and announce that you just started your own business and how excited you are, that you're looking for their support, if they'd be interested in, looking at your catalogs, so reaching out to friends and family, would be like your warm market, the first people that you're going to want to contact, that you're going to want to talk to. So that would be my personal best advice whenever I sign a new distributor is, announce your business as soon as possible and reach out to the closest people to you as soon as possible. And as you start rolling in those customers, it's going to start just booming your business. That's what's going to blossom it in the beginning.
Awesome. Let me just call on somebody who hasn't spoken yet. Okay, so Sarah, I would like you to answer this next one. Okay, so the next one is, I have a lot of potential loyal customers. They are interested in all of my posts. They're messaging me. They're liking everything. I cannot get them to commit. What's your best advice? That's Sarah Bailey, if you didn't know. Anyone can answer.
Did you say me, Sarah Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I guess my best tip is to just, be excited has been said so many times. So that's a good one because your excitement is contagious. The more that you're excited, you got to be excited for them though. Make it about them and remind them why they wanted the products in the first place, because it's not a priority for everybody else like it is for us. So you have to make these people really want it because you want them to achieve their goals. So I guess my biggest thing is make it about them and create a sense of urgency. People don't know, about our spots. If you say you're looking for 2 hair models, people want to be one of those 2 because you only need 2. So they want to jump on that. So create a sense of urgency and just make it about them and remind them why they wanted the products in the first place.
love it. Okay, so there is a couple of questions on this, and anybody can hop on it. So, I'll split it into 2 parts. Okay, so the first part is somebody that has been in for a while. So we have a couple of people. They said one's been in for 2 years, one's been in for 1.5 years. When they first started, they were on fire. And then all of a sudden, they lost motivation. Things started falling apart. Their success did not happen as fast as they wanted it to. And they're trying to come back. So what would be your best advice for somebody who has been through that? I call on people, by the way. How about Liz Rogers? Or Casey, or Dylan?
Okay, so
Oh, Casey, go for it.
yeah. Okay, so I actually this is really relatable to me because when I started, I wouldn't say I was on fire because I wasn't really interested.
Oh, Casey, you're muted.
Okay, can you? Okay, we're good now. All right, cool. So no, this is relatable to me a lot because I feel like when I started, I wouldn't say I was on fire in the beginning because I wasn't really working my business like I should have. But once I got that momentum going after a few months and I was on fire and I was building my team and I was signing distributors and signing customers, about 7 months into my business or about 6 months into my business, I completely hit a wall and my entire team quit on me and I gave up on myself. And I gave up on myself because other people were quitting. So I was literally allowing what they were doing to make my decision what I was going to do for my business. And how I got out of that is I told myself, I was like, you know what? You've done it before. You signed those distributors. You've done this. You've signed people. Obviously people want this because you've done it before. So why can't you do it again? And I literally just told myself, I said, I'm going to give it 150% for another, month and a half. I'm just going to crush it. And I built my entire team back. I promoted to Ruby 3 months later, which most of you guys, I don't know if you know my story. It took me a year to go Ruby, okay? 9 months to go Ruby, and then another year to go Emerald. And I just went Diamond, 2 years into my business. So for those of you going slow, it's okay. You just have to understand that you're worthy of this, and you have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And my biggest thing that has helped me this year alone is getting to events. If you feel as if you're in a rut, find an event. I don't care if you're, at the bottom of your business and you barely have any volume and you don't have nobody working on your team. Get to an event and get your fire relit and listen to these stories and listen to what other people are doing, because that's what I did. And that's what I'm still doing. Like, even though my business is still growing at the pace it's going, I'm still getting to events. I'm not stopping going to events because I know what it does for me. And I know that my team watching me go to events makes them want to get to events also. So yeah, just understand that you're worthy of this, and that you just have to, it's up to you. Only you can decide what you're going to do with this. And you just have to figure out how to pull yourself out, and just like getting plugged in and getting to events really is honestly the best tip I can say for that.
I love that. Liz, did you want to chime in?
Yeah, I just totally will piggyback off what Casey's saying. I guess it's definitely the biggest thing in your business is always going to be showing up even when you don't want to. And showing up especially when you don't want to. And they've said before, I don't even know who said it or when they said it, but it was at some event, that when you are feeling down about your business, you need events. And when you're feeling amazing about your business, events need you. And I think that that's super, super important to remember, because nothing will pick you back up when you're feeling down or feeling slow in your business than surrounding yourself with people who are excited about the business and passionate about the business and, just going to teach you everything that they know. So definitely just plugging in is my biggest tip to getting out of any type of funk.
Love, love, love. Oh, my dog was going upstairs. She's not allowed up there. Okay. And then I just want to add something really quick to that too, is that, social media, as amazing as it is, I went triple 100% on social media. It does have the power to suck the life out of you. So you have to be intentional, and I'm going to talk more about this live in the group tomorrow. But you have to do like a 6 list, make a list of 6 things that you want to, achieve in your business or achieve that day. Well, it has to be that day. So not in your business, because that could be years from now. So what you want to achieve that day, and then focus on that. I can't tell you how many times I'm like on top of the world when I wake up. I have my morning coffee. I'm going to message everyone who liked every single post I've ever done for the last 4 years. And then all of a sudden I'm like, holy cow, like somebody posted something and somebody's getting a divorce and blah, blah, blah. Like people don't have a filter when it comes to social media, and you don't know how it affects you, even if it has nothing to do with you. A lot of these people I don't even know, but their negativity on my news feed has the power to bring me down. And so anything that you see that's negative, block it. I'm not saying block that person. It could be your best friend. I'm not saying block them on Facebook, but block it from your success, because it's gonna hinder your success more than you think that it has the power to. But it's gonna get in your head, and it's gonna make you feel some type of way, and you just have to do away with it. You have to, sometimes the best thing for me is to, everyone's been talking about plugging in, and that is the most important thing you can do. But for 20 minutes a day, I'm gonna get a point to unplug. I'll shut my phone off for 20 minutes and, I'm playing with my kids, I'm listening to music, I'm doing whatever I have to do. But that is important, because when I turn my phone back on, I have intention. And I'm not just going through social media scrolling and all of a sudden I'm some baby mama, cousin, daddy, like looking at their first profile picture. I'm not doing that, because I'm working with intention. And so that's super important. Okay. So the next thing, there was 2 parts of that I wanted to touch on. Okay, they've been in the business. Okay, so the second part is they were in the business and completely quit. So they were in the business for, it doesn't even matter how long, but the reason they quit is that every single distributor that they signed wouldn't do anything. And so they gave up. For some reason, they felt like they should come back and try again. And so they want your best advice on coming back and attacking it. And maybe it's a little bit of, guilt. Maybe they felt like they weren't a good leader because their people weren't working. So what's your, I guess, best advice for distributors not working and then just coming back from something like that?
Okay, I want to touch on this really quick. Okay, so because this kind of goes off of what happened to me too. Am I muted? No. Okay. So honestly, like if people aren't working your downline and you're following up with them, you're giving them the tools that they need. You're doing your part. If you're showing them that what you're doing and telling them what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're doing your part. If they're not going to do it, that's not on you. What my best advice is honestly finding new blood. I think Pam Satter is, if if you need volume, find new blood. If you need new worker or new distributors, find new blood. And that's like the biggest thing that has helped me. And when I came back, I just told myself, I'm going to find a new team and I'm going to build a stronger team than I have ever had. And I did. I just started enrolling people and I kept telling myself, I'm going to find workers. I'm going to find runners. And I just kept signing people, and eventually I found my runners. And you have to tell yourself that over and over again. If you're telling yourself, no one's working, no one's doing anything, I'm not signing any distributors, guess what? You're manifesting that and you're not going to sign distributors. You're not going to sign workers. You're going to sign people who are going to come in and they're just not going to do anything. And you just have to move on from that and understand that not everybody's going to want to do this, and that's okay. And so honestly, my biggest tip is just getting new blood and running with your runners. Like, don't sit there and linger on people who aren't working. If you're just now coming back, you know what? Just hit the ground running and just start finding a new team, like building a new team. You can reach out to your old distributors and say, hey, I'm giving this another shot. Do you want to give this a shot with me? And yeah, some may come along with you, but if they don't, that's okay. You don't have to go with the team you had, because guess what? When I went Ruby, none of those people that were on my Ruby chart were on my Diamond chart. And you just have to understand that it's part of the business, and you just have to keep finding new blood and keep moving forward with your runners.
Love. I feel like, Hannah, you would have something good to contribute to this too. And just to add, even there's no slow season. There's nothing, what you tell yourself is slow or is a funk or whatever, that's what you're going to bring about. And so when everyone was saying, this is a slow season, and there was several people, but Hannah was really one of those people who continued to enroll steadily. I don't know if there was ever a month where she didn't complete her steps to success, but we did message several times, and it was that conversation of nobody's working. So I feel like you have something good to contribute.
What was the question again?
They worked their business before and no one was working, and so they quit because none of their distributors were working, but they want to come back and work. What's your best advice for having a team of people that aren't working? How do you get past enrolling people that don't work? Is it on you?
50-50. You have to be the runner that you want to enroll. You can't. You have to be the person that you want to enroll. You have to be the leader that you want to enroll. If you want someone that works their business every single day, then you have to lead from the front and work your business every single day. The answer really is, it's just new blood. You can't sit around and wait for someone to do something that they may or may not ever do, because I think one of the most important things, and I tell myself this all the time, is I see a lot of people, or I'll just say this, taking 100% ownership for your business is probably one of the best things that you will ever do. Your success or lack thereof is 120,000% on your shoulders. It's not on anyone else. Never has been, never will be. And I think that whatever that you previously thought before you came into the business, if you thought it was just something that you were going to dilly-dally around in, but you want to make X amount of whatever, then you have to step up and fill that position for the person. Become the person that it takes to make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $25,000 a month. Just take ownership for your business and be the leader that you want to be.
Love. Does anyone else have anything to add? We have just a couple more minutes. So we'll get through like 2 or 3 more questions. Okay, so the other one was, I'm going to save this other one for last. Okay, so how could you possibly promote a product that you haven't tried? So there's been, several people who joined, they saw the result pictures, but they never tried anything. And so then they went on and they researched and they saw, it really doesn't work. It's water weight loss, but they feel maybe not so confident talking about it because they've never tried a product for themselves.
I can touch on this. But when I first started, I had not tried any products, but that's why I started, because I wanted to try them. And I was so excited for other people's results that I was sharing their results and their success stories. And then as like my business started growing and I had the funds to buy new products, then I was able to share my own story with them. But I was just so excited to like promote other people's success. Like, I mean, everybody wants weight loss or whatever their goals are. And it was just, I don't know, I just ran with that.
I want to bounce off that really quick because, when I started, I didn't try any product either. I think
You're on mute.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry, it keeps getting muted. Anyway, so I want to bounce off that because when I first started, I didn't try any product either. And I had only tried one of my wraps because I sold 3 of the wraps in my kit. I'm sorry.
Casey, you're muted again.
Why does it keeps messing up? I don't understand what's happening. This isn't my phone, so I'm sorry. Anyway, so one thing that I was doing was I was just literally talking to people and showing people what the results were that I was getting from the before and afters that are accessible to you through the corporate page. And these are real people, these are real customers, these are real distributors. And I didn't use a product for 3 months other than the wrap. And my first wrap, I didn't get results. I didn't get results to my second wrap. So honestly, I didn't have any results to share with people other than what other people were getting. So if you're not, if you haven't tried a product, that's okay. I haven't used every product. Does that mean I don't sell all the products? No. There are people out there that could use products that I don't use. I don't use hair, skin, nails, and I sell a lot of hair, skin, nails, okay? And, obviously I would never use Estra Rhythm, and I've sold 1 or 2 since I've started. So, I mean, you don't have to use the products to sell the product. There are other testimonies, and if you need a testimony, utilize your team pages and say, I have someone, that needs this. Like, has anybody had, personal results? What's your testimony? I need something to send to this person. And do that. Utilize the before and afters. Utilize other people's testimonies and share it with them. I understand personal results are better, and I do suggest everyone trying a product because I don't think it's a great idea to promote something if you've never tried. But like I said, if you have never tried anything, that's okay. We have other testimonies. Yeah, you're not claiming you've tried it. You're saying, so-and-so used this. This is her results. And just share it with customers. Send a couple before and after pictures and let them see it.
Yes, I love that. I'm pretty passionate about this. If anybody
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
So I think that we also have to remember is that people aren't expecting you to have tried every single product. Like when someone asks for a referral to a restaurant, they don't expect you to know every single thing on the menu and have tried every single thing on the menu. It's the same thing. When people are asking for your referral to their product, to these products, they're not expecting you to know everything about every product and have tried every product. So I think that it just kind of clicked in my head. I was like, well, when you give a referral to a hair salon, it's not like you've tried a haircut and every single color that they have in their color cabinet and every single treatment and all of that. When you give it, same thing with anything. Like when you give referrals, you don't know everything about what you're referring. So just remember that, and you can vibe off of people's results. And there's been so many results posted in Blitz Wrap Be Legendary, and it's amazing seeing everyone being a product of the product and trying their wraps when they come in. But just be excited with those people and then ask your team for results and then send your customers their results and say, hey, this is my friend Sarah. This is her results from the wraps. Look how amazing. I can't wait to try it. Or, hair, skin, nails is on my auto shipment for next month. I'm so excited to try it. This is my friend's results from it. So just be excited because people will want to join because they're excited, because of your excitement.
Love
Yeah,
that.
the same thing happened for me. Similar to Casey, I'd only ever tried the wrap, and I shared my excitement for that. I utilized before and after pictures of other people using the product, and that attracted customers to buy the other product, not just the wrap. I wasn't able to try the greens for maybe 2 months into the business, and then the stretch mark cream maybe 3 months into the business. So you'll eventually get to try different products, and it's great having your own before and after pictures. It really is. But I've never had ThermoFit, and I've sold ThermoFit, so you can definitely sell product that you haven't personally used.
Definitely. And another thing that helps too is talk about what your personal goals are. So I gained a lot of weight when I was in college. You know, I say the freshman 15, mine was like the freshman 45, and I was like, oh, whoa, I got blessed like 5 times. And so I got a lot of stretch marks on my thighs. And so when and then I got pregnant, and it just accentuated them there. And so, I didn't know the business when I was pregnant with my first. And so what I talked about after I had her was, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, like the stretch marks on my thighs are horrible. But here's a bunch of results of the stretch mark cream that I'm selling. I'm going to start using it. Who wants to get it with me? I will share my discount if you want to come in on an order with me. And I sold a lot like that because that was relating to people. They could see that I was going to use it and that I truly believed in it, and I was going to, make it for myself. And then there was that visual that could help people relate to that as well. And then, another thing, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of history and facts because I love it. So Luis Maharas, he formulates our products, and he actually worked in cancer research before he decided to switch to a holistic, way of growing and marketing and trying to, save people. And so we would not be a $1 billion brand with the one person that formulates our products if it didn't work. And so you have to be confident in that. I think when we first start, it's a new business to you, but it's not a new business to them. This is a 16-year business. It's not new. It's new to you. So you have to be confident in the fact that this is a well-established, well-reputable company who sells products that work. And so when we have those corporate approved photos, it's not from, Joe Smo that we just picked up off the street and then Photoshop. Those are real people, and those are real results. And there are hundreds of results like that. And there are thousands of testimonies using our products. And, I have people who say, oh, well, I read one bad review, on Yelp or whatever it is that they saw it on. And you have to understand that, are you more willing to write a review if you had a really good experience or a really bad experience? If you had a really good experience, you're just going to be like, wow, that was amazing. It was a really good experience. You might post about it on Facebook. If you had a really bad experience, you're going to be like, heck no, I'm contacting the company. I'm getting my money back. And you're going to freak out, right? Well, 99% of the time, this is people who are not using the product correctly, or maybe they were sold expired product. You don't know the backstory. So don't research and don't dig into it's basically other people's opinions. Are you going to let one bad review of somebody who probably didn't use the product correctly? Or are you going to trust a $1 billion brand that's been debt-free since 2008 and it's been established since 2001. It's a 16-year company who sells products that thousands of people have had a really great experience of. I mean, it's up to you, but I am going to follow the money. So the next part, which is my favorite question, I feel like we get asked this all the time, and I feel like you guys always give a better and better answer to, is if you could have done something different. So if you could go back and you could tell your brand new self what to do, what to believe in, how to work, and what to do differently, what would you do? I want all of you guys to answer. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. My biggest tip would be to never get in management mode, to never try to just stick to the basics, to relight that fire over and over. But yeah, to never get in management mode, to never think that you have to outlearn what's already given to you is our steps to success. To just go work your business with the simplicity that's given to you and not try to outwork that or outtrain yourself. Yeah, that's where I would go.
me, my thing was for probably the first like 3 to 4 months in the business, I kept watching everybody else. I didn't really learn to keep my blinders on. Your story is going to be different than everybody else's. Your journey is going to be different than everybody else's. And I feel like in the beginning, I spent a lot of time looking at everyone around me. Well, this person's diamond, this person's double diamond, this person went executive to emerald in a month. So my biggest advice of something that, you know, I wish I did different was to just pay attention to me and my journey and not everybody else's.
Yes, girl, yes. Okay. Next.
Okay, so one thing that I would tell myself if I was just getting started is to honestly get over yourself and understand that not everyone's going to follow you. You're going to have haters, and to remove them immediately, because once you remove the negative people out of your life, and it took me a long time to understand this, and I think that's why I had such a hold up, and it took me, such a long time to promote to Ruby, is because I was in my head and I was letting people affect my mindset. I was letting literally people tell me, oh, you're not going to be successful in that. You're not going to do that. It's not worth it. Go get a job or keep your real job or whatever, all those things. But once I understood that their opinions literally didn't pay my bills and had nothing to do with what I was doing, I removed them. I cut friends out of my life, and yeah, it sucked, but I know I needed to do it for myself. So if I were to start over and, tell my new self just joining, I would literally say, cut the negative people out of my life. If they're not supporting me in this, then they don't need to be in my life at the moment. They can come back in my life later if they choose to support me later. But right now I need to focus on myself and my business and just run hard with that, and just know that you're worthy and that you deserve more than what their opinions of, what they think you can't or can be successful at. So that's what I would tell myself.
Dawn can go next since she's right by him.
Okay. So if I was just getting started, mine would be to know that your story does matter. And I know that's something that I struggled with a lot is, like, I never really just, like, completely struggled with money or anything. So I just was doing this more for extra comfort. And so I got to a point where I was like, well, maybe I'm not worthy of making that much money. And so I think just knowing that that you are worthy and that your story does matter, and it doesn't have to be like the person next to you. So that's my little tip.
Love it.
Stop laughing.
Okay, Liz.
So I just thought really hard about this because I feel like every time I answer the same. But for me, I guess the biggest thing would be to never get comfortable, because I promoted very quickly. I went diamond in 4 months and double in 7. And then it took me a year from there to get to triple, because I was super comfortable with the diamond paycheck or double paycheck. And I didn't think I was worthy of anything more. That I just poured my everything into my business for the first 7 months, and then I just stopped. And I just became extremely, extremely comfortable. So never get comfortable, because your life's going to continue to change and things are going to continue to happen. And your business is going to continue to grow if you never get comfortable and you keep working hard and have fun with it. Never stop having fun with it. When you stop having fun with it, you need to step back and talk to your enroller and be like, I'm not having fun anymore. What can we change? Because when you stop having fun, that's when your business is going to start to fail.
Love it. Okay, Hannah.
I would probably have to say to stay focused, because guys, none of us are exempt to life happening, and it's going to happen regardless of how long you've been in this business, whether you just started. All of us have life happening to us, and stay focused. Write those goals down and put them, like I said earlier, put them up somewhere that you're going to see them every day so you can be reminded of them. And just stay focused. Remind yourself every day why you started, and ignore the distractions, because the distractions are there to distract you from those goals, while they're not gonna. I don't know where I was going with that. All I can see is Liz moving around. I can't. So I'm super easily distracted.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Okay.
Sarah Bailey. Oh, wait. Lynn, sorry. I scrolled past that. Lynn.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I don't, if was it me that you were distracted by? I'm sorry. My kids are talking to me. They just got home today, so they're excited to see me. The biggest thing I would say to myself if I was new is do not compare yourself to others, because your journey is yours. And if it takes you a year, 5 years, or 10 years, your journey is yours. And when you start looking right and left and comparing yourself with other people, you will get distracted and you will get disappointed in yourself and your business, and you will start to question what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. Even if you're doing an amazing job, you can be incredible, the most incredible person in the world, and not on the same path as someone to the left or right of you. And it does not reflect on you. It's not you. It's happening in your business and in your life. So do not compare yourself to others. That's the biggest tip that I would give. And never quit, because we all are at that point at some time, and we all have, like Hannah said, we all have things that happen in our lives that we question. You know, is this really for me? Is this really where I should be? Is this really, what I should be doing? Especially, the biggest thing for me is having friends. My friends that I love and care about have left, and they turned their back on me. They quit the business, and it hurts. It hurts because I see potential in them. I see potential in their journey, and they don't see potential in themselves, and it's hurtful. But you have to keep going, because that journey is yours. It's not theirs. So just keep going. Never quit, and don't compare yourself to others.
Yes, I love that. Okay, Sarah.
I would just say, like, stop being scared and just ask people. Like, I know it's intimidating to join something like this, and I know that some of you guys are probably skeptical and maybe you haven't used the products, but stop being scared, because I was that person that, like, I worked my business on Instagram for 6 months because I was too scared to post on Facebook. I was too scared to ask my actual friends. And you know what? A lot of them are here today as loyal customers and distributors because I finally started asking. My own mom got involved with me in the business after a year of being in. And after that, her husband got involved. And then my sister got involved because I started sharing about it. And I was passionate about it. I started asking and not being scared. So just, you've already invested in the company. It's up to you to make something out of that. And the only way you're going to do that is to do everything that everybody else said just now, and just start asking, because posting is not asking. And you already have connections made with tons of people. You've already got relationships built. So you're literally like skipping out the middleman. Just go and ask people.
I love that. So I'll just give mine really quick and then we'll end it so you guys can have your night. So something I wish that I could tell myself is that people are skeptical of things that they don't understand. And that's going to reflect on you, and to not take offense from it. And so, for example, I went to Kansas State University right out of college. Right when I was 18, I moved to Kansas from Colorado, by myself. Just went out and just did it on a whim. And every person, I hadn't even, had my first day yet, and I just announced it. And every person's like, I am so proud of you. You're amazing. You're going to do great things. And I remember thinking at the time that it was kind of weird because they were assuming that just because I went there that I was going to graduate and be successful. And they didn't know how much debt that I was going into in order to go there. So I went there, and I'm talking about my classes, and I'm like, oh, I just got a job at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. And what reminds me of this is I saw a post a few days ago on my Facebook of a girl that it was back to back. So it was a girl that just joined my team. And she said, hey, everyone, I just decided to sell It Works products. I need new before and after pictures. We have an amazing wrap. I want, 4 people to give me their before and after picture. And there was 2 likes and a couple of comments. And then right underneath that, there was a girl that was like, oh my gosh, I just got a job at Walmart. I'm not joking, at Walmart. And like 50 likes, 20 comments. I'm so proud of you. You're going to do amazing things. Like, way to go, way to step up and earn a paycheck. And so it like gives me chills because people are skeptical because they don't understand. And what makes it even more skeptical is when you join something like this and then you quit. And so that's them saying, you're right, it doesn't work. And so when you join something like this, you can't quit. You can't, because it's not going to happen overnight. You are your own business owner, which I think in itself is something to be like, holy cow, I'm proud of you, versus I'm going to work for, some company out of Arkansas that is making billions of dollars. And I'm sure he's not even in America right now because he's on vacation and there's all these lowly employees working, for him. So be okay with that. But you have to understand is that when you first join, they're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting. It's not that they don't like what you're doing. It's not that they don't, trust the products or the company or anything like that. It's that people start stuff like this all the time and then they walk away because they want instant success. There wouldn't be a lottery if people didn't go buy it because people want success overnight. They want money. They want to spend $2 and make $2 million for nothing. They don't want to work for it. And so when you join something like this, you have to make it a priority and say that. This is a priority. These are my goals. These are my dreams. This is what I want to do. This is long term. This is not a joke. And then people are going to be like, okay, wow, I'm going to listen. She's pretty passionate about that. That's how it was for me because I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice to get a 9-to-5 because I would be paying for daycare. And then my extra would just be paying for gas to get to and from work. And I had a DUI at the time, so I didn't even have a license. So it was out of the question. I had no choice. And so when you don't give yourself a plan B, when you don't give yourself a second option, you have no choice but to be successful. So don't join something like this and be like, I'm going to give it a couple of months. And if I don't get 25 loyal customers in 24 hours, I'm done. Don't do that to yourself. Say, I'm going to prove to every single person who doesn't think that I can do this, that I can, and that it's long term. Even if it's to supplement your income, you guys, this is long term. I'm going to be doing this for years to come. If you want to wrap girl in 5 years, I'll be doing that while I'm a nurse or whatever your plans are. You can do whatever you want to do, but you have to be passionate. You have to be stead firm. Plant your flag here. Because if your flag is not planted here, then why should your friends and family believe anything you have to say? So when people say, I'm so proud of you, it's because it's not that they think you're going to be successful. It's because it's something that is going to make you stuck. I got a job at Walmart. All right, well, that's going to be for the next few months. That's going to be for a while. That's something that is steady for just showing up. You could probably be late and show up on drugs, whatever. That's something that is going to be steady. This is something that's going to pay you for the actual amount of work that you're going to do. So if you want to come to this company and you want to bust your ass day in and day out, you want to go all in 110%, guess what? You'll be an Ambassador Diamond. So I want to thank you guys for your time tonight. And I know it's Friday. You may have other plans, but thank you for being here. You will see a million times you got to show up to go up. So we want to thank you. I want to get a picture. Hang on. I always do this wrong. Okay, I want to get a picture. So say cheese. I want to get a picture. Let me make sure my flash is off. Okay, cheese. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope it was helpful. And if you ever have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to put them in the group, to reach out to any of us that are speaking. We've been where you are, I can promise you. And if we haven't been there, we have had somebody who's going through the same thing and we're help coaching them through it. So don't drown. We're here to help you. Have a good night.
Bye.